Welcome to the first episode of the Unseen Movie Marathon. I'm going to be watching and reviewing a movie between 1970 to present. Right now, the poll for the 1971 movie is available for you guys to vote on. Head down to the community page of this channel, which I'll put the link for that in the description, and go ahead and vote for next week's movie. Can't wait to see what you guys choose. You already chose a crazy one. Speaking of which, let's get right into it. I Drink Your Blood from 1970. And actually, there's a little bit of a debate over whether or not that movie actually came out in 1970 or if it came out in 1971. But for our purposes tonight, actually this morning because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to say this is a 1970 movie, which is what Letterboxd told me. Let's get into the review. This movie is absolutely insane. It's about a group of Satan worshipping hippies who come to a small town after their van breaks down. They're coming there to kind of set up shop and do all kinds of satanic hippie things. The movie actually opens up with a satanic ritual with them pledging themselves to Satan. And these satanic hippies are led by a man named Horace. He often threatens the other hippies in the group, and every time he's on screen, you're afraid of him doing some harm to someone.
Sometimes I wonder about you. Better pray I forget you ever said that.
Nobody wonders about anything but me. You're beautiful, but if you ain't careful, I'm gonna skin your ass alive.
Anyone else who's on the screen with him, you may think that they're in danger. They probably are. We have a family that already lives in the small town who runs into these hippies after they assault one of their family members. They don't know that the hippies were the ones who assaulted her, because after she's assaulted, she can't speak. She's kind of in shock. The family goes and investigates. They go into town first and just try to see if one of the construction workers who are building up something in the town, I honestly can't remember, were responsible for it. Unfortunately, her family members are kind of dismissed.
Honey, rape is a little out of an engineer's domain.
Big help you are.
Which is an unfortunate thing to hear in the 70s, just as unfortunate as it is to hear these days, because that kind of dismissal still goes on. So when they come back, they actually run into the hippies at the bakery that they own, and it just gets creepier from there. They sell them some food. They don't really suspect anything except for the little boy. The little boy suspects that they are not all that they seem to be. So while they're there, the hippies are asking this family,
Would you happen to know of a place we could stay for the night? My wife isn't feeling so good.
I got one on the way.
Well, the hotel's been boarded up now for over 2 years, and the houses are coming down in another few weeks.
So then crazier things keep happening. The little boy follows them to a house that they're looking to break into, and for whatever reason, he reveals himself by telling them,
It ain't safe to go in there.
Why not?
It's haunted. Nobody's lived in there for years and years. It's full of big rats.
So we'll have a rat hunt. We'll barbecue them. Whoever catches the most rats will be supreme ruler of Sados for one night.
oh yes, they go looking for rats as they pick these rats up barehanded. And one of them, Rolo, the black hippie of the group, actually catches the most rats, and he puts them on a poker, and they barbecue these rats for real. I thought, hey, maybe they're just joking. Horace ain't joking. They had the rats on the grill. They was grilling the rats. They had a rat burger.
¿Qué es esta carne?
Esta carne es de rata.
Rat. This is a rat burger. Best burger I've had in years.
Rolo actually becomes leader for the night, and he decides to torture one of the other hippies because he thinks he's a cop.
If there is fear among us, then we must get rid of it now. And if there's a cop-out in the group, then he is not a true member of Satan's family.
What is going on? So they cut the bottom of this cop's feet, and then they hang him from a post and swing him around, and the blood from the bottom of his soles gets on all the hippies' faces. Yo, I'm telling you, this movie is insane, and I'm pretty much giving a recap at this point. It's actually really hard to talk about this movie without talking about the details of it. Then the family kind of figures out, hey, maybe it was the hippies that did something to the girl. So the grandfather grabs his shotgun and goes to confront them. He comes up the steps of the house that they broke into. He sees the body swinging, spraying blood on their faces. He doesn't say, hey, you know what? Not for me. He goes and threatens these people, and they just essentially take the shotgun from him, beat him up, and send him on home. And then the little boy grabs the shotgun, gets attacked by a rabid dog with rabies, and he shoots and kills the dog. This little boy took a bad situation and made it worse. What he decides to do is go to the bakery's kitchen, grabs the syringes that I guess you would use to fill up the meat pies and everything else, goes back to where the rabid dog is, and takes the blood out of the rabid dog to fill up the meat pies to feed to the hippies.
We got a special on them. $0.25 apiece. If you take a dozen.
All right, we take the meat pies.
That's yummy.
No, let me.
We'll make a baker out of you yet, Pete.
And then sells it to them for cheap.
What happens if a human gets rabies?
They go insane and die. Why do you ask?
No reason.
They essentially turn into living zombies. They have more brain power than a regular zombie has. Some of them turn quickly, others take a little bit more time. You can tell which ones have turned because they're foaming at the mouth. They have wide eyes, they look crazy, and they start attacking each other. Polo goes and finishes the job and actually kills the man who he accused of being a cop. And the other hippies are going crazy because they haven't turned yet. They have no idea what's happening. The main hippie, Horace, he starts to turn. So that's what I mean by the boy actually took the situation that was bad and made it worse. He actually turned the town into zombies because he decided to put the dog's rabies blood in the meat pies. So unforced error there, kid. I know you're trying to avenge your sister, but you essentially made zombies. And that's not something we really want to dabble in. We don't want to be in the zombie business. One of the women who hasn't turned yet, she decides to sleep with the construction workers. And let me tell you, the construction workers that were defended as honorable people proved themselves not to be at all. They were as sexually abusive as anyone else in that hippie situation.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
She was rabies infected, and it's explained you can also become infected just by touching someone.
Jesus Christ!
So now the little boy has turned the hippies into rabies zombies, and in a roundabout way has turned the construction workers into rabies zombies. All these zombies are running around killing people. The family gets caught up and uses a hose to spray some of the rabies zombies, and the rabies zombies die from water. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's also not a terrible movie at all. It's good, it's solid. After you watch it, you'll have a conversation about how crazy it was, and you'll probably never go back to it again. But I have to thank everyone who voted, and I'm looking forward to the next movie that you guys choose for 1971. In the description, there will be a link to the community tab where you can find the poll, and there will also be a link to the Letterboxd list that I set up for us to follow along to every movie that we watch during this marathon. If you enjoyed this review, like the video, and if you want to see more of the Unseen Marathon, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you can be alerted every time a new video drops from my channel. If you'd like to see the other new series that we have on the channel, click here for more information on that. If you'd like to see the other movie reviews that I've done recently, click here on this playlist. Alright y'all, until next time.
Well, at least the poor bastards have been put out of their misery. Death by hydrophobia is one hell of a thing. Yeah.